Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this latest edition of Rebels Radio. Just going to stop you for a second. Just got to close the door of the press box. We'll tell you more in a second. Hold on. Right, there you go. We're back. We're here today at Vauxhall Road for this Vanarama League game between Hemel Hempstead Town and Slough Town. It's been a few years since these two sides have met, and in fact the last time was in 2009, and that was two sets of FA Cup games. Slough came here and scored a late equaliser through Nathan Bowden-House. A few of those of you who remember him, and Slough won the replay 2-1. So that was 2009, the last time that the two sides have met. So it's not been too bad for Slough. They've previously played Hemel Hempstead Town 17 times. Slough have won 11 of those, drawn 3 and lost 3. So are the omens good for the Rebels, or with it being Halloween, are they going to have a nightmare tonight? We'll run through the two sides for you in a second and give you all those details. First of all, this is Rebels Radio. My name is Aid, and I will be your commentator this evening, as most evenings, and we'll give you all of the action as it happens. If you would like to get in contact with us, you can do so two ways. You can do so on Twitter. It's at MyFC Rebels Radio, all one word, all in lowercase, and that will come through to us here this afternoon. Or you can do so on the little comments chat room, which comes up on the YouTube that you're listening on. You do need to be a subscriber to YouTube. That's just a simple login kind of thing. So good evening to Graham, and Paul is from Poole, which wasn't easy to say when I read that the first time. Paul is from Poole. He's listening in this evening. So there you go. You can come through and we'll give you a shout out this evening. There are some other games coming up as well. Just a couple of things for you. Slough will be at home this coming Saturday. That's the 3rd of November, where we're home to Concord Rangers. And Slough will be great to be back at home. Forgot what Arbour Park looks like. It's been that long. Then after that, Slough will be away in the FA Cup, away to Sutton United. Now, if you haven't seen the Slough Town website, it does actually say that they are expecting a big crowd, are Sutton. It is going to be segregated, and they are selling tickets in advance, and they are advising people, if possible, to please buy your tickets online beforehand to help with the numbers of people coming through the gates. So just for you guys there, if you are planning to come to Sutton, their advice is to pre-buy your tickets. If you ever remember Kings Lynn, I guess it's going to be run a little bit better than they do, but there you go. So that's what they're saying, is if it's easy to pre-buy. I'm not 100% sure the prices, but I know it's £15 for an adult. So that's the things there. And then on the 13th of November, which is 2 weeks today, Slough will be away to Chalfont St Peter. That's in a Berks and Bucks Cup game, but so that's a few games away. So there you go. This is Rebels Radio. It's brought to you by our two sponsors, and as usual we like to thank everyone for their continued sponsorship. That is MyFC, the online football community. You can find more about them under the Pichero banner. That's the Pichero website, has loads of teams and stuff on there. MyFC are on there. You can search them, Pichero and MyFC, and also of course the Slough Town Supporters Trust as well. And we can thank both of those for their continued support, and we're ever so grateful for them. There are some other games in the National League South this tonight. So there was one last night. Willstone beat Gloucester City 2-0. The other game was running this evening are Billericay Town versus East Thurrock, Concord Rangers versus Chelmsford City, Eastbourne Borough versus Hampton Richmond Borough, so that's a borough derby, Oxford City versus Chippenham Town, St Albans versus Welling United, Truro City versus Bath City, it's Weston-super-Mare versus Torquay, and Woking versus Hungerford Town. Those are your other games in the National League South this afternoon. Very fortunate here to be in a press box here at Hemel Hempstead. They very kindly let me come in their press box. The problem is I can't see down the far end to the right, so whenever I'm doing my shooting to the right we just can't see the corner, but we'll just do what we normally do and just make it all up as we do that kind of thing there. So we'll just make it up as normal. So there you go, and we're just sharing our space with the people here, the Tannoy people from Hemel Hempstead, who were very gracious there today. So we'll run through the side for you for this evening. So starting with the home side, Hemel Hempstead Town, they will be playing in all red, so red shirts, red shorts, red socks. In goal for them is Laurie Walker, 2 is Lloyd Doyley, 3 Joe Howe, 4 is their captain and current manager as well, Jordan Parks, 5 is Darren Ward, 6 is Ishmael Yakubu, 7 is Kavan Cotter, 8 is Ty Ward, 9 Steve Corley, 10 Carl Oliade, and 11 is James Calixi. Their substitutes are 12 Matteo Handy, 14 Sydney Ibby, 15 Sam Murphy, 16 Tom Dean, and 17 is George Paulin. So there are 2 changes to the Hemel Hempstead side from Saturday, and the Slough side is there's 5 changes for the Rebels this evening. Jack Turner is in goal, 2 is Sean Fraser, 3 is Josh Jackman, 4 Sam Togwell, 5 Mark Nisbet, who's the captain, 6 is Lee Togwell, 7 Simon Dunn, 8 Scott Davies, 9 Chris Flood, 10 Matt Stevens, and 11 is Louis Saws. Substitutes then for the Rebels are Guy Hollis, 12, 14 is George Wells, 15 James Dobson, 16 Warren Harris, 18 is Ben Harris. Your referee this evening is Jack Packman, and his assistants are Luke Donaldson and Tom Fell. So there you go. I'll run through those starting 11s for you just before as the teams come out there. So we're just a couple of minutes away from that. If we're just going to see who else is listening, because we could do with a little bit of technological help here. As we're just waiting for, just going to do that one as. So good evening to Michael McGranhan, Simon Moore, Peter Jewell, Neil Humphrey and Tim Avs. So listening in, and finally come down the comments board there to see. There are a few problems with the Tannoy music here at Hemel Hempstead. I could start singing, that might help, although I don't think that would help really. So we are just waiting for the 2 sides to come out for this evening's game. If you've never been to Vauxhall Road, home of Hemel Hempstead Town, it's changed a bit since the last time I was here in 2009. But we on the left hand side, there's a little bit for the directors, home and away directors, and stuff like that. There's a very small stand, and that's where the press box is. Then opposite us is the main stand on the far hand side, or as it was, the main stand on the far hand side, and that's a seated stand, roughly runs from centre circle to centre circle, and then there is now a new stand behind the goal to our right. Before it was always like a terrace stand, I believe, but it's now a seated stand. So that's to our right, and then to our left is an old-fashioned terrace, standing terrace there, and that's still the same. It used to be one at either end, and it's quite. The stand is actually quite elevated to the ground level. So there you go. A few things have changed a little bit, and so we're just going to go and shut the door again because he's left the door open. I can't see now. Just hold on a second. So the 2 sides are coming out here this evening. So we'll just quickly run through those starting 11s for you again. And for the home side, it's Laurie Walker in goal, 2 Lloyd Doyley, 3 Joe Howe, 4 Jordan Parks, 5 is Darren Ward, 6 Ishmael Yakubu, 7 Kavan Cotter, 8 Ty Ward, 9 Steve Corley, 10 Carla Liddy, and 11 is James Caloxy. For the Rebels, it's Jack Turner in goal, 2 Sean Fraser, 3 Josh Jackman, 4 is Sam Togwell, 5 Mark Nisbet, 6 is Lee Togwell, 7 Simon Dunn, 8 Scott Davis, 9 Chris Flood, 10 Matt Stevens, and 11 is Louis Saws. That is your starting 11s for this evening. And don't forget, we will have our half-time quiz for you as well. I've not forgotten you this afternoon. This evening's half-time quiz is the 5th question. You're going to have to add the totals up. So if you're not good at maths, you're not going to be going to do that one. But hey ho, just something for you. We just thought we'd try something a little bit different for this one. And we're just double checking while they just go through the 2 sides here. The referee just about to call over the two captains here to decide who's going to be shooting which way. And it's a bit of a cold evening this evening. It's not that bad. Hopefully this gentleman's going to sit down. He's going to sit right in front of him. Right. Okay. There will be a minute's silence before the game for the Leicester City tragedy. So there will be a minute's silence before the game. That's just been announced. So there'll be a minute's silence before the game for the tragedy at Leicester City, and they're just lining up for that now. That will go on the referee's whistle in a second. Just waiting for the last of the couple of players to come. And that minute's of silence is impeccably observed there by both sets of fans. And it's now time to get down to the business of the evening, where it's Slough going to be shooting from right to left. And Slough also have the kick-off here this evening. So Slough will be the ones kicking off. They're all dressed in blue this evening, are the Rebels. Hemel Hempstead in red. We're just waiting for the referee to add up to 11 twice and to check that everyone is happy. The linesmen are in place this evening. It's all just waiting for our referee, Mr. Packman, to eat the dots, chase the ghosts and get the game underway. Is he ready? Is he ready? There you go. That's it. Kick off here at Vauxhall Road, and it's the ball's here straight, played out of play by Slough. It's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper, actually Walker, who just kept the ball in there. So it's here with the Hemel Hempstead goalkeeper, all dressed in orange. Long ball down the field here, won by Mark Nisbet. The header then flicked on by Lee Togwell. Played forwards by Caloxy on the far hand side. He's got too much on it, and it runs straight through to Jack Turner, just on the edge of his box there. Long ball down the field from him, headed away there by Ward, comes through to Sam Togwell, heads it on. Soars with a little header, finding Simon Dunn. Dunn trying to run here 25 yards with the ball. Runs on the far hand side, finds the ball to Stevens. Oh, it's just Stevens couldn't get to the end of Chris Flood's cross there. But good play there by the Rebels in the first minute. And Simon Dunn coming into a central position, just poking the ball to Flood on the edge of the area, crossed it first time, and Stevens just couldn't get it. Just went the wrong side of the post. One of those little crosses, just a bit too close to the post. But there you go. Looks like Hemel Hempstead have some singing fans. That should be a battle of the singing fans this afternoon as we wait for Walker to take this kick. Evening, I should say, not afternoon. Ball over the top here. Well taken down by Corley. One in the centre there by the captain, Parks. Played out here to the left back, Howe. Howe has plenty of time in front of him. Plays it in here towards Ty Ward. Gets the ball back, and it's hooked clear though by Lee Togwell. Volleyed clear though by the other centre back of Gubu. Ball over the top here, and it's Sam Togwell under pressure here from a Yiddy. Plays it out of play, but it's a throw though to the home side, not far from the corner flag on the far hand side of the pitch. And strangely enough, it says on there, right by, I think it says Underwood Solicitors. So I didn't know that our manager was a solicitor, but there you go. Underwood Solicitors is advertised right by that corner flag. The throw comes in on the far hand side quickly. It's being held up here by Parks. Played back in here to Coloxy. His cross is blocked. Comes on the edge of the box to Ward. Ward breaks into the box. Crosses in. Hooked clear by Sam Togwell. Sawes is underneath it for Slough to clear. Comes here towards Flood. Flood leaves it for Togwell to clear down the line. Comes through to Matt Stevens. Stevens finds Dunn. Dunn in a good position here. Finds Jackman on the overlap. Plays it back inside here towards Davis. And he just tried to play it in towards Dunn. But Lloyd Doyley with the touch there just takes it out. So throw here to Slough. Level the 18-yard box of the Hemel Hempstead half. Jackman is the player that goes across to take it for Slough. Gets a quick touch in here towards Dunn. Dunn's ball is hooked clear though, up as far as Corley. Corley holds the ball up. Oh, good play there. Finding Parks. Parks trying to bring through. Just a slip there in the defence, and he runs into Davis. The referee says no foul. And Davis will chase this one with Doyley, but Doyley's going to go back towards his goalkeeper Walker. And Walker clears with confidence down the field. Aimed again towards Corley, headed on by Nisbet to Lee Togwell. He can't control it, and it's here with Ty Ward. Ward flicked in towards Parks, flicked on here, looking for the run of Edie, and Jack Turner's come miles out of his box and then plays it down the byline, looking for Stevens. Takes it on his chest well, then is fouled, first foul of the evening, and it's a free kick to the Rebels. And the Slough fans in good voice here this evening. It's a free kick for Slough, roughly about 10 yards inside the Hemel Hempstead half. Standing over it is Scott Davies. Nisbet has gone forwards for Slough. And the ball's floated in towards Nisbet. He gets a header across goal. It's hooked away by Yakubu. Comes to the edge of the box where Sawes jumps with it, but can't keep it. And Howell can clear down the far hand side here to Parks. Parks clears down the line, but there's an injury to a Hemel Hempstead player here at the moment. And the referee has just stopped play for an injury. So let's see if we can keep you up to date with scores from other ones. Who else have we got on this afternoon? Good afternoon to good evening. I keep saying that. Good evening to Colin Davis, Gerald Taylor, Super Nan, Stuart Brookin, and Will Rees, who are listening in. And we'll just see if we can find you some. If there's any early scores from the games involving the National League South. As just trying to see who it is who's got a bit of a bash to the face there as they jump for the ball. One of the Hemel Hempstead players. It looks like it's Darren Ward, who's the player down injured here at the moment. And Ward just still being treated there on the pitch inside the Hemel Hempstead penalty box. Trying to see if there's any other things. It's still being treated. Ward in the penalty area there. Yeah, that's just keeping on that. They've got an electronic scoreboard here at Hemel Hempstead Town. Just as the score in the minutes, there's a goal in the game between Eastbourne Borough and Hampton and Richmond Borough. It's gone to Eastbourne Borough. So Eastbourne Borough currently in the lead in that game. There's still treatment being administered here to Ward. And it looks like it's a bang to the nose. There's some Carabao Cup games on this evening. And there's also some FA Trophy replays going on as well. And we're seeing if there's anything else. Eastbourne Borough is the only team in our league to score so far. Everything else is goalless at the moment. There's still a lengthy break in play here for this stoppage. And doesn't look like there's a substitute warming up at the moment. So it looks like they're going to try and treat him. I think it might be his shoulder that he's injured. Actually, it's not... my apologies, it's not Ward, it's actually Colixi, the number 11, who's the player that's injured. He's holding his face. There's a bit of a singing competition here between Hemel Hempstead and Slough. The referee has run the whole length of the pitch to give the ball back here to Jack Turner. And Turner's just going to take this kick here, long kick by him, aimed towards Simon Dunn. Dunn can't get there. Headed comes off the head of Doyley. Jackman will just see the ball out of play for a throw to the Rebels, just inside the Slough half. And Jackman just slowing in for a bit of movement. Comes from Davies. Davies plays it back here towards Nisbet. Nisbet goes across to his centre-back partner this evening, Sam Togwell, finding Sean Fraser. A little heavy touch by him, but he goes back towards his goalkeeper, Turner. And Turner then spreads it out here to Mark Nisbet. Nisbet can bring the ball forwards here a little bit for Slough. Plays it in here towards Chris Flood, who's come deep, finding Dunn, but the ball just passed Dunn, and it's here with Corley. Corley trying to chip Jack Turner from 30 yards. It's a great effort, just over the top of the bar, though. Hits a fan in the side of the head, but good vision there by Corley, but just over the top of the bar. And the first effort of any real note goes to Hemel Hempstead, but just over the top, and it's a goal kick here to the Rebels with... coming up to 8 minutes gone. Most of that is injury time though so far, as Turner looks to take this kick for Slough, and it's a long kick by him, aimed towards Flood, headed away though by Yakubu. Corley does well to flick it on, finding Ollie Eade. It turns Nisbet really well, finds it back into Corley, gets a little 1-2. It's blocked by Slough, and it's Lee Togwell that plays it back here to James Dobson. Sorry, Jack Turner in the Slough goal. My apologies there. James Dobson in goal. That'd be fun. Ball's come round as a foul by Slough, and that will allow Calixi to come back on the field. So Hemel Hempstead will be just going to make sure there's no blood, apparently, to his face. The referee's just double checking, and there you go. Calixi is back on the pitch, and Hemel Hempstead back up to 11 players. And it'll be a free kick to Hemel Hempstead, 10 yards inside their own half. It'll be taken by Walker, the goalkeeper, who's braving the weather this evening in a short-sleeved goalkeeping top. As Walker signals what he wants. Ward has gone forwards. Darren Ward has gone forwards for Hemel Hempstead for this free kick. And it's aimed towards him. Heads it across the goal. It's hooked clear in the end by Sean Fraser. It comes off the head of Lee Togwell. Two Hemel Hempstead players go for it. It's one back by Simon Dunn, but he just overruns it. But it breaks here kindly to Lee Togwell. Down the line here for Stevens to chase. Up against Doyley. Doyley just plays it back here towards the goalkeeper. And it's good clearance by the goalkeeper. Long ball. And Corley beaten to the ball by Nisbet. Comes to Calixi. Just closer. Hooks it into the dark night sky. Nisbet heads it away for Slough. And it's one back here by Jordan Parks. He's going to shoot from distance as well, but that's way wide of the goal. And it looks as though Hemel Hempstead have a shoot on sight policy here this evening. Maybe they think that Turner's off his line a little bit, but another shot there from 30 plus yards out by Hemel Hempstead, but wide of the goal, that one. And it's still 0-0 here between the two sides. Long kick here by Turner, headed on by Flood, hooked away though by Ty Ward, and Nisbet's chasing here with Corley, but it comes to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. Got that right. And it's Turner, dressed all in dark blue here this evening. Long kick down the field. That is a really long kick. Headed away though by Ward. Comes on, flicked on by Caloxy. Headed away Nisbet. Lee Togwell jumps up, Calixi gets a header, but it's one back by Scott Davies. Hits it straight at Parks, dives in on him, and the referee will pull that back for a foul by Davies, and that'll be a free kick. Oh, messed up our commentary position there. Woke me up. I didn't even know what was going on. Just as well there was glass there. What was it doing me in the face? It's a free kick here though to Hemel Hempstead Town. And it's a free kick a couple of feet inside the Hemel Hempstead half, and it's going to be Parks, the Hemel Hempstead captain, that takes this one again, aimed to Darren Ward, who gets to it, but there's an offside there, and it's a free kick to Slough. And Slough taking it quickly. Ball's here with Stevens, pushed off the ball, but finds Davies. Davies gives the ball away, but it ricochets off Parks and finds Fraser. Fraser with the ball down the line here, finding Swords. Swords is in the ball into the 1-2 here with Togwell. Lee Togwell. Swords will try and chase that one down, but it has just gone out of play for a throw to Hemel Hempstead right by their corner flag on that far hand side. And it's going to be Howe, the left back, to take this throw. And it's flicked on by Calixi. Comes here towards a lead. Davies gets a touch to it. Nisbet can clear down the field for Slough. Headed away by Yakubu. Comes out here to Calixi. It just hits him. And it's swept clear by Howe. Comes off the head of Fraser. Bounces around. Jackman's there with Corley. Comes off Chapman's head towards Fraser. Fraser down the field looking for Stevens. Stevens has found the ball to Flood. In towards Dunn. Dunn's ball to Stevens. Takes it on his chest, but the referee says it's come off his arm. And that will be a free kick to Hemel Hempstead Town. And it's going to be a long kick here, trying to find Corley. Good play by him. Holds it up into Alidi. Alidi back in towards Parks. Parks looking for the first time ball. Bouncing around in the box. Slough can't clear it properly. Jackman in the end hooks the ball clear, but Slough are under pressure here at the moment. Ball's here with Doyley. Plays it inside here towards Ty Ward. Ward has a bit of space here. Finds Yakubu just on the halfway line. And Yakubu just keeps it in here towards Howes. Ball played in, looking for the head of Corley, but it's going to run through to Jack Turner in the Slough goal. And Turner tries to get Slough on the attack quickly, but he hits it straight out of play. And it's a bit of a rushed kick there by the Rebels. It's a throw here to Hemel Hempstead Town, 10 yards inside their own half. Doyley, the right back, will come across to take this. He's just looking for a bit of movement here. Still hasn't taken the throw. And the referee's just told him to go back about 10 yards. I'm surprised he hasn't told him not to hurry it up. Ball played in. Comes off the head of Jackman towards Corley. Corley hits him on the arm. Ball bouncing around between a couple of players. And Corley's touched last, but it's come off a Slough player. It's a throw here to Hemel Hempstead. It's right in front of the away dugout. Doyley is the player that comes across to take this throw for Slough. Takes it quickly, looking for a lead. He's come off the foot of Jackman. It's gone out for another throw, a little bit closer to the corner flag. This is the area that I can't see much, but it's a throw to Hemel Hempstead. And again, it's Doyley, the player that goes across to take it. And it's a short throw in here towards Cotter. Got the ball back, does Doyley. Looking to try and cross it in, but it's come off a Slough player for another throw. And it's again Doyley to take this throw for Hemel Hempstead. 5-6 yards away from the corner flag. And the throw comes in here towards Corley. Corley tries to keep it on, and Jackman has to hook the ball away and out for another throw here. Slough under a little bit of pressure here in these first 15 minutes. And that's a bit worrying. Oh, they've brought a defibrillator out. I just guess that's because they were supposed to have had it out already. The throw will come in quickly here towards Cotter. Back out towards Doyley. Doyley keeping the ball in there by that corner flag. It's still just being kept in there. Slough cleared it through Simon Dunn, looking for Stevens. Stevens gets clattered there, and it's a free kick to Slough. Foul by Darren Ward. And it's a free kick here to the Rebels, which will be taken by Jack Turner. He's trying to find Flood on the far hand side. Flood flicks it on well to Louis Saw. Saw's in the right wing position. Gets across, he hits it straight at Yakubu. Should have done better with that. And Yakubu does well to play off Saws and out for a throw on the far hand side. Taken quickly by Hemel Hempstead. Hook cleared by Kaloxi. Coming to Alidi, won by Nisbet. But Alidi sneaks the ball back and finds Ty Ward. In here towards Kalixi, finding Howe on the far hand side. Howe, the left back, up against Lee Togwell. Ball breaks kindly for Slough with Lee Togwell. In towards Simon Dunn. Dunn turns inside the centre circle. Spreads it here towards Josh Jackman. Being chased down by Cavan Cotter. Comes off Cotter last. And Doyley will keep the ball in here for, or it won't keep the ball in for Hemel Hempstead. It's gone straight out of play for a throw to the Rebels. And it's Josh Jackman takes the throw quickly in towards Simon Dunn. Ball comes back out here towards Jackman. Here back in towards Dunn. Dunn need the ball. Oh, giving the ball away to Cotter. And Cotter brings it out and finds Jordan Parks. Parks does well to turn. Orchestrating everything. Lovely little ball here for Ollie Eade. It's just a little bit in front of him, and it's cleared up by the Rebels. Good evening to Kim, who's watching British Bake Off while listening to us here. I think one of them's almost a bit more exciting than the other at the moment. Long kick here by Turner. Headed away by Flood, but there's an offside on the far hand side against the Rebels. It's a free kick to Hemel Hempstead Town. And it'll be Walker, the goalkeeper, to take that one. And we wait for Walker, the goalkeeper, to come and take this free kick. 17 minutes gone here. 0-0 is the score. And Walker just taking his time with this free kick here. And finally Plays it deep here, looking for Corley. Comes over the head of all of them. On the far hand side, hooked clear by Fraser, with Parks just waiting. Ball kept in by Howe, but it's come off Howe last. It's a throw to... So now is he giving a throw or a free kick? He's giving a free kick. Apparently the referee, I don't know what it was for. Couldn't see a foul myself, but there you go. Turner trying to take it quickly, trying to find Flood. Flood beaten to the ball by Yakubu. It's going to go straight out of play. Oh no, Sauce will keep it in on the far hand side. Plays it in towards Stevens. Little touch here towards Flood. Flood 35 yards away from goal. In towards Stevens. Hit Stevens rather than Stevens controlling it. And Cotter can bring the ball away here for Hemel Hempstead. Stevens gets a head to it. Goes out of play for a throw. And it's played in here towards Ty Ward. Plays it out here towards Parks. Parks ever willing to receive the ball. Spreads it out here to Howe, the left back. Up here against Louis Sauce. Just skips past him, turns, well defended by Sauce, and the ball comes back here to Calixi. He's got time to try and put across here, looking for Cotter. Cotter stretches but can't keep hold of that one in. And it goes out of play for a goal kick to Slough. So 0-0 the score. And Concord Rangers have taken the lead against Chelmsford City, 1-0 to Concord. And whilst we're waiting for Turner to take this goal kick, we must wish Kathleen Porter a very happy birthday for Saturday. Apologies I missed that one, but happy birthday to Kathleen. Headed away here by Doyley, not Kathleen obviously, the ball. Ball comes in towards Stevens finding Sauce, but Sauce robbed of the ball, gets a foot to it, but it's only here with Yakubu. Plays it back towards the goalkeeper Walker with Dunn bearing down on him, clears the ball. Nisbet's first to the ball for Slough. His header will be kept in here by Cotter. Just boots it straight out of play, and that's gone out of play for a throw to Slough. It's a bit of a wasted ball there by Cotter. He could have had time to keep hold of the ball, but there you go. And the singing's gone down a little bit here between the two sets of fans. And it's Jack Turner to take this goal kick here for Slough. And it's 0-0. Not much excitement going on here at the moment. As Turner, long kick here, aimed towards Flood. Flood does well to flick the ball on here, looking for Dunn. It's come cleared by Ward over the fencing here. And it's a throw to Slough. Jackman takes it quickly towards Davies. Davies just runs forward, just skips past a couple of challenges, keeps hold of the ball, and then plays it out here towards Sean Fraser, 5 yards inside his own half. Fraser's ball isn't the best, but it's won back here by Lee Togwell, who just dives in a little bit there, and the ball's here with Ty Ward in towards Corley. Just gives the ball away, and Slough won it back here with Simon Dunn. Dunn just runs straight into Hemel Hempstead player. Very scrappy here at the moment between the two sides. Ball out on the far hand side, finding Flood. Flood with a bit of space down that right hand side. Crosses hard and low. Looking for Stevens. Well defended by Doyley. That was actually really good defending. And Stevens had got the right side of the ball, but Doyley defended that well. It's a throw for Slough, taken quickly towards Lee Togwell. Touch pull by him, which is very unusual. Kolotski chases him down. Ball over the top by Togwell, looking for Sauce. It's hooked clear. It'll be a throw to Slough, and it's 5 yards away from the corner flag. And it's going to be Sean Fraser that takes the throw, quickly finding Matt Stevens. Stevens on the edge of the 18-yard box, trying to create a bit of space here up against Yakubu, and does well to play the ball out here towards Sauce. Sauce now being forced wide, back here towards Lee Togwell. Slough under pressure when they've got the ball. Ball's in towards Sean Fraser, back here towards Lee Togwell, in towards Davies with a silly little ball, gives the ball away, but it's one back here well by Simon Dunn. Little ball inside towards Stevens, comes back out here towards Dunn, plays on the far hand side towards Davies. Davies goes down under a challenge, no free kick by the referee, and it's how to clear the ball down the line. Headed away though by Sam Togwell. Sauce keeps the ball in for Slough, finding Fraser in towards Davies. Davies looking for the run of Flood, but Flood had stopped his run, and it goes straight out of play for a goal kick. So there you go, 0-0 here between the two sides. It's 21 minutes gone, and not a lot of goalmouth action. Just 2 shots from Hemel Hempstead from 30 yards, which have both missed the target. That's all there's been so far. Not a great deal going on as we wait for Walker, the goalkeeper, to take this goal kick. Played here on the far hand side, looking for Corley. Headed away well though by Sam Togwell, but only as far as Doyley, just inside his own half. Plays the ball quickly, and it's one for Turner, who has to scamper back to his line just to watch the bounce on that one, but it's back here with the Slough goalkeeper. And it's going to be a long kick into this dark sky, in towards Flood. Flood won't be able to control it and finding Dunn. Dunn skips past a couple of challenges, finds Flood. Ball played in here. It's just a little bit too slow, looking for a penalty there for a foul. Flood has gone straight in. Flood's got to get a yellow card here because he's put his hands on the referee. In theory, he'd gone across to protest. He is going to get a yellow card. Basically, he thought that there was a foul in the box by Ward. And he thought it was a foul. He protested to the referee, who didn't give the penalty, and he ran into the referee, put his hands on him, but gets a yellow card on 23 minutes, does Chris Flood. And a silly card to get there for the Rebels. Didn't need to run into the referee. Could have just stopped and let the game go. Good evening to Michael Ballard, Mr. Brookings listening in, Richard Weisler, Sharon Biddle, and someone called SS. I don't know who SS is. It's a ship. It used to be a ship, wasn't it? American ships with the SS Ulysses or whatever. I don't know. Ball played in here by Walker, finding Cotter. Has time to control the ball. Stolen off him by Simon Dunn. Dunn's little ball in towards Flood. Back towards Dunn. Looking for Stevens. Darren Ward gets a touch to it. Nisbet headers it away. Comes out here towards Josh Jackman. Down the line. Ward heads it straight out of play. And sums up how the game is going here this evening. And the ball played in quickly by Dunn. Down for Jackman to play it forwards. Dunn blocks the clearance. Headed on by Ty Ward. Comes to Nisbet. Nisbet gets a touch to it here with Sam Togwell. 15 yards inside his own half. Spreads it out here towards Sean Fraser. Being chased down by Parks. Here towards Soars. Soars has to go back to Lee Togwell, he's played a short ball here, and Ollier tries to chase it down, but Turner gets there first for the Slough, and it turns out to be a good ball. Stevens trying to get there, and it's broken by Cotter. Poor touch by him. He just gets away with that, finding Doyley. Doyley, the right back here, halfway inside his own half, plays it across here towards Ty Ward, who's playing a little... almost gave the ball away to Stevens. Just manages to get it out to Howe on the far hand side. Sloppy play here from everyone. And it goes back towards Walker, the goalkeeper. And a long kick here down by him. Nisbet wins the header. That will come straight out of play in front of our commentary position. And it's out of play. Good evening to Neil. Neil Fudge is listening in Leeds. Well, welcome, Lee. Welcome. Apparently Leeds is a lovely place to go to, I heard. Some lovely shops. I don't know why. It just came on the radio earlier. Long ball forwards here by... Ward, Darren Ward has come here towards Davis. He can turn, plays it down the field, finds Stevens. Stevens holds the ball up here for Louis Soars. Soars with a chance to run at the Hemel Hempstead defence. Plays it in here towards Stevens. Stevens, that is really good defending by Ward. Stevens just had the ball at his feet. He just couldn't get it out, and Ward got his body in the way and shielded it back towards his goalkeeper Walker, who's spreading out to the left back Howe. A little 1-2 with Parks. Back here with Howe, playing the ball forwards. Nisbet reads it well, but header comes off the side of his head, and Ollier gets there first for Hemel Hempstead, turns and finds Parks. Parks crosses first time, Cotter's at the back post, but Turner drops the ball and then manages to get a foot to it to hook the ball clear, only as far though as Doyley. Doyley finding Ty Ward, closed down by Davis. Davis just pushes him off the ball, finds Stevens. Stevens though on his own, and then Ty Ward comes back and defends it well. And here now with Darren Ward, the centre back. And Calixi has come so far deep. He's the furthest player back for Hemel Hempstead. And Slough just happy to let them chase it around here, and Ward just turns away from Davies, who'd gambled on a back pass. Ball out here now towards Jakubu. Hammers it down the line here, and Sean Fraser will just... Sam Togwell, sorry, just turning away here as Howe's continued the run from left back. And Togwell's ball finds Soars. Soars gets clattered. Ball comes in towards Stevens. The referee will pull that back for a foul on Louis Soars. And it's a free kick here to the Rebels. Couple of about 4 or 5 yards inside the Hemel Hempstead half. And it's... going to be Sean Fraser who will take this free kick for Slough. Driven into the box, Nisbet with the header, but heads it the wrong way. Overrun there, and Lee Togwell wins it back. Ball inside here towards Nisbet. Nisbet turns, trying to spread it out to Soars on the far hand side. Good ball to him. Needs a good cross. Gets a good cross. It's just over the top of the bar. It's one of those crosses that almost sneaked into the top corner, but it's out of play and gone for a goal kick. So 27 minutes gone, still 0-0 between the two sides. Hopefully the bake-off is a little bit better. Can't be as boring as this game is. Don't forget, if you do want to get in contact us on Twitter at MyFC Rebels Radio, or on the comments page on the YouTube bit that you're listening to. But don't forget, we've got the half-time quiz, surprisingly, at half-time. We're just killing time because Walker hasn't taken the goal kick yet. There you go, he's finally taken it. There's a long kick by him, headed away by Lee Togwell. Comes out here to the left back. Joe Howe has time to play the ball down here towards Parks, the Hemel Hempstead captain and current player manager at the moment. Ball played out here towards Doyley, being chased down by Simon Dunn. And Doyley plays the ball in towards Corley. Oh, Corley just stands on the ball, and it allows Davies a chance to sneak in and win it. And then he plays it back all the way to Dave Turner in the goal. And it's Turner with a long ball down the field for Flood. Flood beaten to the ball by Yakubu. Comes to Ty Ward, trying to release it for Leedy, but he had just been chasing Jack Turner back, so it's going to go out for a throw to Slough right on the far hand side, which Togwell will take quickly, I believe, and throw it to Turner in the Slough goal, which he does. And that allows Turner to just bring the ball a little bit outside of his box here, and then drills the ball down the field looking for Stevens. Headed away by Yakubu. It's gone out to play for a throw to Slough. 10 yards inside the Hemel Hempstead half on the far hand side. Quickly taken by Fraser, finding Swords. Swords with a bit of space here, just being closed down by Parks, but manages to find Fraser, who's continued his run forward. Fraser trying to get across it. It's crossed in but headed away by Yakubu. Lee Togwell will watch the ball go out and play for a throw on the far hand side. By the McDonald's sponsored stand. There you go. The ball's here with Lee Togwell in towards Dunn, but it's hooked clear by Howe. Straight back out of play for another throw to Slough. And we wait for a fan to get the ball. It'll be a throw in for Slough on the far hand side. Sean Fraser to take this. Couple of yards inside the Hemel Hempstead half. Looking for the run of Swords. Challenge comes in. It's a throw to Slough, but it's a lot further down. Now only about 8 yards away from the corner flag. Fraser again comes forward to take this throw for the Rebels. He's just looking for a little bit of movement from a Slough fan. Or a Slough player even. Might help if a fan went on the pitch. Ball comes through to Togwell. Played into the box for Flood, who gets a shot away, but it's well wide of the goal. And only Slough's second effort. And so far, both sides have had 2 efforts on goal. None of them have actually troubled anyone in the ground, really. To be honest, all of them in well wide of the goals. As we've played coming up to 30 minutes. And the ball by Walker is headed on there. Hooked clear, though, by Sam Togwell. It'll be free for Darren Moore to head on. Davies gets there first for Slough. And Jackman under pressure plays it off Cotter, but finds Dunn. But spins off Dunn's fine out of play for a throw to Hemel Hempstead. Doyley comes across to take this. Apparently, on the back of their sponsors, it's duct tape and Steam Express cleaning. I wonder if it's stuck on with duct tape. Ball's played in, headed away by Josh Chapman. Lee Togwell treads on the ball. Ball's now with Calixi. He's trying to orchestrate something. Overruns it, and Lee Togwell can bring it out for Slough. Finding Stevens just tried to let the ball run across him, but Yakubu spots it, and Walker comes out and clears a long ball down the field. Cotter will chase this one for Hemel Hempstead up against Josh Chapman. This is the bit that I can't see. It's gone out of play for a throw, though, to Slough. And it'll be Josh Jackman that will take the throw for the Rebels, playing left back this evening for the Rebels. And the ball is thrown on, headed by off the head of Coloxy. It's headed away by Nisbet, smashed high into the night sky by Scott Davies. Darren Ward's underneath it for Hemel. Heads the ball forwards, comes off the head of Josh Jackman. That'll be a throw to Hemel Hempstead. 20 yards away from the Slough goal, quickly taken in towards Calixi. Doyley gets the ball back, and under pressure it comes off a Slough foot from Davies. Another throw here to Hemel Hempstead Town. And the throw does come into Calixi, back out here towards Doyley. Doyley, little ball in, finding Cotter. 1-2 with him, finds Doyley. Doyley tries to come down, and it's the first corner of the game goes to Hemel Hempstead. And it's taken 32 minutes for the first corner to come across. Not saying it's not a very good game or anything, but there, 32 minutes for the first corner. And Parks has gone across to take this for Hemel Hempstead. And Slough with some defending to do. Poor corner, headed away at the near post by Lee Togwell. Comes out here towards Cotter, tries to find Parks. Parks, good touch, lovely ball in towards Cotter, but well defended by Simon Dunn. That's really good defending by Dunn. Actually, he's got Cotter on his back coming down, and he's just seen the ball out of play for Simon Dunn. He's only just coming back from that ankle injury. He does well, he just gets caught by Cotter, but the referee says it's a goal kick to the Rebels. Anyway, so still 0-0. Not much going on since the last time it was 0-0, really. And yeah, still waiting for the goal kick to come through. And ball played in here, looking for Flood. Flood tries to flick it on, but it goes straight out of play and out for a throw. And it's throw comes in off Doyley, headed away by Jackman. So Hemel Hempstead have gained a couple. Doyley's taking his gloves off. He's taking his gloves off to get a better grip on the ball here. Laid into Coloxy. Coloxy headers it on for Corley to chase down the side. And it's hooked cleared by Nisbet. Flood trying to head it on, trying to find Stevens. Stevens holding the ball up here against Kukubu. He's given offside against Stevens, which I honestly can't see how that was offside, but it's offside. Stevens' chest had the ball at his chest, and Yakubu was standing behind him, and it come from a little flick on. So unless he was offside when the clearance came in the first time, but there you go. I don't know much really. Could be sat in the warm with a cup of tea watching Rojo cry and Kim Joy burn something or whatever. Walker kicks the ball towards the box. It's cleared by Slough, comes back in from Ward, and then Slough hook it clear with Sean Fraser. Free header here for the left back Howe. Nisbet gets a touch to it, then Coloxy tries to head it on to the path of Parks. Poor header by Fraser means the ball came to Parks. Finds Oliidi down the near hand side. Oliidi trying to squeeze in and go through. Goes down in the penalty box looking for a free kick for a penalty. Referee says no foul, and it's a throw to Hemel Hempstead. 15 yards inside the Slough half. How the left back comes across to take it. I've only just realised that Hemel Hempstead have got a drummer. I wonder where the noise was coming from. There you go. Throw comes in from Howe, trying to find Olaid. Headed clear by Fraser, and then Soars smashes it clear for Stevens to chase. Darren Ward comes across with the header, flicked on by Ty Ward. Lee Togwell gets his head to it, and then Flood trying to hold the ball up for Slough, but it's won back here by Ty Ward, but Lee Togwell takes it off him, and then neither side can keep hold of the ball. Ball's here with Parks, but there's a foul on Lee Togwell, so free kick to the Rebels. And I guess it's only a couple of feet inside the Hemel Hempstead half. And Scott Davies is standing over this free kick here for Slough. Nisbet has gone forwards for this free kick. It's a couple of feet away from the sideline as well on the far hand side. As the Slough fans make a little bit of noise here again. As Davies takes this free kick, aims towards the far post where it's come to Flood. Flood gets the ball down. Oh, he just gets a touch off Doyley. It's a corner. It's good defending in the end. Flood just controlled the ball well, but as he tried to get across in, Doyley came across and blocked it. It's a corner to the Rebels. And Scott Davis is the player to come across to take it, as Dobson is on the bench. So Scott Davis to take this corner for Slough, their first of the game. And Davis plays it right into the box, headed away by Coloxy. That's a really good header. Comes back out to Davis, takes it down into his stride, gets a deflection, and it skims through. And it's taken 37.5 minutes for the first shot on target come, and it was a deflected shot in the end from a ricochet. Ball's headed away by Fraser. Nisbet can't get it, but Davis is in here to Soars. Soars finds Flood on the outside. Flood just cuts inside, holding the ball up, trying to find Stevens. Ward gets there first. Good challenge for him. Back to Scott Davis. Tries to play it first time and gives the ball away, though, to Calixi. Ball over the top for Olliade to chase. And, what is Jack Turner doing? He's gone out of his goal. The ball has gone out of play, has it? Turner had chased the ball. He then stopped because it looked like Olliade had kept the ball in. He went to shoot for goal, but the referee has said the ball had gone out of play. Turner just mad rush to come out of that. Didn't need to come out for that one there. Sam Togwell was coming back with him, but very strange. Kind of sums up the first 37.5 minutes of the game. Sam Togwell with a throw to get Slough further down the field. Comes off the head of Parks, goes over the top of the stand, and it'll be a throw to Slough. And there's not a lot going on. We're just waiting for a ball to come in. They're just going to join in with the Hemel Hempstead fans singing. There's nothing going on. Togwell with the throw, comes off the head of Howe, comes in towards Dunn. Dunn header trying to find Soars. Soars central position here, being forced away from goal. Finds Scott Davis. Davis just turns inside the centre circle, still has the ball. Plays it here towards Mark Nisbet. Nisbet inside the Slough centre circle, chipping it over the top here for Flood, who's turned onto the right winger position. Tries to keep the ball from going out for a goal kick. He does that. It goes out for a throw, and it's gone out of play off the edge of the ground. And we'll have to wait for another ball to come in. And wake up. 39 minutes is on the clock. It's a throw to Hemel Hempstead down on the far hand side, deep inside their own half by the corner flag. And it's Howell, the left back, to take the throw. That comes off the head of Lee Togwell towards Corley. Corley down the line looking for Olliade. It's cleared by Nisbet here towards Sam Togwell, who just chips the ball down the field. Stevens trying to take the Yakubu, heads it away. Fraser sees the ball out for a throw to the Rebels. Just inside the Slough half. Sam Togwell will take it for Slough. Inside towards Davis. Davis flicks it here for Nisbet. Nisbet urging his team to go forwards as he brings the ball out to the halfway line. Then plays it in towards Swords. Back here towards Nisbet. Now trying to create a bit of space here. Ball still with Nisbet. Finds Davies. Nisbet telling him to play it forwards. Finds Jackman, but just stretches too far for Jackman to get to. And it's a throw here for Hemel Hempstead, taken by Doyley in towards Corley. Corley just dispossessed by Davis. One back by Cotter. In here towards Calixi. He plays it, finds Yakubu. Yakubu standing there trying to chip it out here towards Doyley. Doyley takes it down. Good touch, but Jackman just stretches to stop him from getting past and puts in a play for a throw to Hemel Hempstead. Doyley will come across to take it. Trying to find Darren Ward, the centre-back who's come forward. Back here towards Doyley. Doyley down the line for Cotter to chase. It's in that area where I can't see. It's gone out of play for a corner, I do believe. Yep, corner to Hemel Hempstead. Again, the Hemel Hempstead captain Parks is the player that goes across to take this corner. And against now with some defending to do here. They conceded just before half-time on Saturday. So they've got to keep their minds about them here. Again, comes into the near post, headed away by Lee Togwell again. Comes out here, though, to Cotter. Cotter trying to find Parks. Togwell dives in on the challenge, gets a touch to it. So it's out for a throw here to the Tudors. And Doyley again comes across to take it. It's going to be taken by Parks quickly in towards Cotter, finding Doyley. Doyley trying to turn and create a area to play the ball in. Inside towards Parks. Parks towards Cotter. Intercepted well by Simon Dunn. Plays a cross. Just gets caught there. The referee doesn't see it. And the ball's here now with Joe Howe, the left back, and halfway inside the Slough half. Turns and finds Calixi. Calixi just spreads it across here towards Parks. Parks turns. Plays it down the line towards Cotter. Cotter being pushed back by Jackman in towards Ty Ward. Turns into Stevens, but runs away from him. Good play by him. Oh, almost threaded the ball through, but Nisbet with some really good challenge. And then a really poor challenge there by Ty Ward. Catches Nisbet. Nisbet's gone down. Slumps on the floor. It's the referee hasn't called the physio on yet, but Nisbet hasn't moved. He's clutching his ankle. Now he comes on the pitch, and it's Ty Ward, the player who's going to be spoken to. Darren Ward, the centre-back, has just come across to have a word with the referee. Ward's been sent back by the referee. Ward's still there chatting to the referee. The referee has told him, he's getting quite angry with him. He's telling him to go away. I know what's going on, but Nisbet being treated here at the moment. And the referee now pulls Ty Ward over to have a discussion. And Nisbet getting some treatment at the same time. And is he going to book him? He does. It's a booking for Ty Ward, the first Hemel Hempstead player to get a booking on 43 minutes. And Nisbet just gets to his feet here. He's fine. He's going to be able to carry on. And the Slough fans clapping the Hemel Hempstead fans because they were singing "You're Not Fit to Referee." But it's a free kick to Slough. And Turner will take it. So roughly halfway, just over halfway inside the Slough half. And Turner just waiting for a bit of movement here as he goes long on the far hand side, aimed towards Swords. Swords beaten to the ball, comes out on the far hand side towards Flood. Flood inside towards Davis. Davis plays it all the way back to Jackman. It means that Jackman's had to chase the ball backwards rather than in his path. Now under pressure from Cavan Cotter. And just trying to play it back. Has to go back towards Jack Turner. A little push in the back on Jackman, but Swords with the header the wrong way. Then, that's a poor challenge by Sean Fraser. He's gone in with an arm on the back of the head of, I think it's Parks is the player that's got caught there. But it's a free kick to Hemel Hempstead, just inside the D, just outside the D of the centre circle. And we're just waiting to see how many minutes are going to be added on. Obviously there was that injury in the first half and the second half. We're just waiting for the signal to come through. But it's a free kick here to Hemel Hempstead Town. It's a central position, just inside the Slough half by the centre circle. It's a couple of feet a bit further towards the goal of the centre circle. And Parks is the player to take this free kick. Once the referee's happy. I don't know what the referee's doing here at the moment. He finally blows the whistle. And Parks tries to chip it in towards the ball, headed across the 6-yard box. Davis gets a touch to it. Ball bouncing around. Still inside the penalty box. Now trying to clear it. And Swords in the end is the player that clears it. It's only going to come far as Yakubu. Takes it on his right foot. Being forced wide by Stevens. Back in here towards Doyley. Back in to Yakubu. Finding Parks is playing almost as a left back. Trying to spread the ball out. Lovely ball here towards Cotter. Cotter trying to cut inside here for Hemel Hempstead. Plays the ball in. Well read though by Nisbet. And Nisbet clears, trying to find the runner Stevens. Stevens here up against Yakubu. Stevens up against a proper non-league player. But Stevens skips past him. Gets to the edge of the box. Shoots across the goal. And there wasn't a Slough player able to get on the end of that. And that was really good work by Stevens. And he just missed a couple of players. One was behind and one was in front. And he just skipped past the two. Parks tries to play it in here. Ball's here with Cotter. Cotter finding Doyley, the right back, just inside his own half. Turns back inside to Calixi. Still has the ball back in here towards Doyley. We're into the added time of the first half. We don't know what it is. Comes off the foot of Flood, and it was now a play for a throw to Hemel Hempstead. And Doyley right in front of our commentary position to take this throw for Hemel. And he's trying to play it in. Costa heads it away, but Jackman gets another touch to it. Doyley's first though to the ball. Jackman tries to get... Alidi just turns away. Well, gets down to the byline. Good play by him. Great challenge though by Mark Nisbet. It's gone out for a corner. Fans behind the goal claiming that it might have hit him on the hand. But great tackle there by... sliding tackle by Mark Nisbet. But it's a corner here to Hemel Hempstead Town. Again, Parks is the player that goes across. Now with something to defending to do as we're into the second minute of added time. We haven't had any indication of how many minutes of added time there will be. But it's a corner here for Hemel Hempstead. There's lots of players on the goal line here. They're going to come out. It's gone right underneath the post. Turner gets a touch to it and pushes it away and out for another corner. It was right underneath the crossbar there. That was a really good corner. But Turner was equal to it. Pushes it out, though, for a corner on the far hand side. We have to wait for Parks to jog from one side of the pitch to the other to go and take this one. And this will be a in-swinging corner here for Hemel. And again, every single person is now inside the 6-yard box here of the Slough goalmouth. Comes through, Turner doesn't get his best of touches too. He gets a touch, and Swords can try and clear for Slough. Does well to clear. Turner, Stevens trying to turn, and the referee says it's a foul on Stevens. And then I don't think anyone realised. I think we all thought he was going to blow up for full time, but Turner looking to take this free kick right by the sideline here, but good 10 yards outside of his goal. And Turner plays it deep into the box, headed on by Flood. Stevens trying to get there first, goes round, he's looking for a penalty, and the ball's headed back towards the goalkeeper. Stevens went down, shout from the Slough fans behind, but the referee says nothing, and we still haven't had an indication of how many minutes of added time there are. The ball's with Walker, the Hemel Hempstead goalkeeper, just dropped it a couple of feet outside of his penalty area, and doesn't need to do anything because that is half time here at Vauxhall Road. So it's 0-0. We're just going to give you some half times. Okay, so half times from games in the National League South, courtesy of our Tannoy announcer, who's very much on the ball. It's Billericay Town 0, East Thurrock 1, Concord Rangers 3, Chelmsford City 0, Eastbourne Borough 3, Hampton Richmond Borough 2, Oxford City 0, Chippenham 0, St Albans 1, Welling 0, Truro 1, Bath 0, Western Supermare 1, Torquay 0, and Woking 1, Hungerford 0. So few goals in some of those games in that league there. And good evening to all of you listening in. Not much of a first half to go on about there. Not really much to go. In fact, out of the entire game, there's only been one shot on target, and that was where Scott Davis was stretching for the ball, and the ball ricocheted from a challenge, hit him on the shins, and actually forced the goalkeeper into a save. So apart from that, not really had a great deal going on this evening. I keep going to call this afternoon. I really don't know. So there you go. So I'm going to do the half-time quiz for you, as we do. So this one's going to give you. So you're going to have your brain cells in gear for this one. So the first 4 questions on the quiz are going to give you a number, and then obviously question 5 is add the numbers up. And hopefully I've got them right, or otherwise it's going to make for a quite embarrassing quiz. But there you go. So it's all a numbers quiz for you this evening. So your first question is, and it's all on this day. I don't just throw this together, you know. On this day, in 1974, Muhammad Ali beat George Foreman in the Rumble in the Jungle. But I want to know, what round did Ali win in? So what round did Ali knock out George Foreman in the Rumble in the Jungle? Now that will give you a number. Okay, write that number down. It's good. Okay, so question 2. On this day, Ayrton Senna won the Japanese Grand Prix to clinch his first World Formula 1 title. All I want to know is, what year did Ayrton Senna win his first Formula 1 world title? Okay, so you now got 2 numbers. Hopefully. Or if not, you've been doing this wrong. Okay, question 3. On this day, Diego Maradona was born. It's also the day that he actually retired from football. But how many full caps for the main national Argentinian team did he win? So, how many caps did Diego Maradona win for the full national, not the under 20s or anything like that, the main national side. So you now got 3 numbers. On this day, Courtney Walsh was born, who was nicknamed 2 C's, the other C being Curtly Ambrose. So there you go. So Courtney Walsh, I want to know, how many test wickets did Courtney Walsh take? Not one days, nothing like that. How many test wickets did Courtney Walsh win? So you've now got 4 numbers. Question 5 is add them all up and you've got a total. There you go. That is your half-time quiz. It's taken me almost as much effort to do that as I could have done that during the first half. There's nothing going on. So there you go. So very quickly, what round did Ali win? The year that Ayrton Senna won his first Grand Prix, number of caps for Diego Maradona, number of test wickets for Courtney Walsh. Add that up, you should get a number. And you can tweet us at MyFC Rebels Radio, or if you're on the commenty pagey thing on YouTube, I don't know what it's called, so I really don't. I haven't got a clue what it's called. But you know, that little chat room thing that you're on, you can put your answers in there and we'll tell you what's going on. So there you go. And we'll give you the answers to that in a second. I can tell you in the Build Base FA Trophy replay, it's Tiverton 4, Hartley Whitney 1. And that's at half time. Just going to see what else we've got for you. We've given you those ones. There's quite a few replays going on. So I'll try and find you some scores from some of the other games for you in the Carabao Cup. Gerald Taylor's got a number. I don't know what number you've gone for, Gerald, but it's just to let you know that I've asked for the year that Ayrton Senna won, so that's got to be over 1900. So 564 isn't unless you're trying to guess how many wickets Courtney Walsh got, but you're still wrong. So have another go. So Ali's KO of Foreman gives you a number. First year that Ayrton Senna won. Caps for Diego Maradona, wickets for Courtney Walsh gives you. That's 4 numbers. It'll give you a total. Give us the 5th number as the answer. Add it up. I don't know what you call it. There it is. There you go. In the Carabao Cup, obviously the Leicester Southampton game was postponed after the events of Saturday, so there's 2 ties going on, and it's currently AFC Bournemouth 1, Norwich 0, Burton Albion 0, Nottingham Forest 0. In Sky Bet League 2, it's Crewe 0, Mansfield 2. I can tell you that at half time, Bracknell are winning 2-1 at Bognor Regis Town in the Build Base FA Trophy replay. Into the National League for you here is AFC Fylde 0, Gateshead 0, Aldershot 1, Boreham Wood 0, Barnet 1, Salford City 1, Bromley 1, Braintree 2, Dover 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 2, Eastleigh 1, Leyton Orient 0, Ebbsfleet 0, Maidstone 0, Harrogate 0, Barrow 1, Hampton Waterlooville 2, Maidenhead 0, Solihull Moors 0, FC Halifax 0. It's Sutton United 1, Chesterfield 0, and Wrexham 1, Hartlepool 0. Let's just go down to the National League North for you. It's AFC Telford 1, Hereford 1, Altrincham 1, Nuneaton Borough 0, Boston 0, Brackley 2, Bradford Park Avenue 2, Darlington 2, Chester 2, Ashton United 0. That's the latest score. 8 o'clock kickoff, I believe that one is. It's FC United Manchester 1, Alfreton 0, Guiseley 1, Blythe 2, Leamington 0, Kidderminster Harriers 3, Southport 1, Curzon Ashton 0, Spennymoor Town 2, York 0, and Stockport County 0, Chorley 0. Just a reminder, obviously, that Slough have the FA Cup game coming up on the 10th. That is away to Sutton United. That game will be segregated. So Slough will just be behind one of the goals at the ground, and obviously there'll be all kind of food and toilet provisions as you would expect. But the advice from Sutton United is to purchase your tickets online beforehand. They are expecting a big crowd for this game, and therefore they have asked as many people to buy online as possible. and I believe the price for an adult is £15. So there you go. So just keep that in mind. There is a coach going to that game as well. I believe it's going to run from 12:30. But if you look at the Slough Town supporters website, you get that. Gerald's had another go, and you're a little bit far out, Gerald. But you keep going. You're the only one that's bothering, so you keep going, mate. I'm quite happy for you to have as many guesses as you like. And we're just waiting for half time to finish, so we can get a pulsating second half underway for you, hopefully. Well, I doubt that very much, but you never know. You never know. I'm just going to sit down, actually. I've been standing up all game because the view's quite bad. There's a broken window and people sit in front of you. So I'm going to rest my weary legs and sit down and just stroll and just have a look at what's going on. Just trying to avoid tweets about the British Bake Off, though. That's what we kind of want to do. So there you go. So don't forget those up and coming games for the Rebels at home this Saturday. Yes, Arthur Park will again see some Slough Town football as it's Slough Town versus Concord Rangers. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff, and then it's obviously the FA Cup game there as well. And then after that, of course, you've got on the 13th of November, which is 2 weeks tonight. There's the Berks and Bucks game away to Chalfont St Peter. So bear that in mind. As we're just doing not a lot. I don't know how to do it, but we'll talk to you about the charity event that's going on before the players come out. So it's called the Slough Sleep Out for the Homeless, and it's one of our fantastic volunteers. Stuart is helping organise this, and I'm going to try and tell you because I couldn't figure out how to copy and paste. I really am useless at computers, so I don't know if anyone's doing it. But basically, there's a page that's running at the moment. We've raised the target for what we would like to raise. There's a couple of Slough Town volunteers currently doing. I will be one of those volunteers doing it. We'll be sleeping out on the 24th of November. It'll be at St Bernard's Convent School, and you get a big cardboard box to sleep in. I do know that our two managers, Neil Baker and John Underwood, are doing it as well. I believe that Neil Baker's got his own separate page, but you can donate to it. And we have had a few donations already. And to do it, you go to My Donate. So mydonate.bt.com/fundraisers/STFC, and then you'll see that on there, and you can read a little bit about it. And it's put up by our volunteer Stuart. And if you're ever behind the bar and you see Stuart behind the bar, please say to continue his good work with that charity there. It's to raise money for the homeless shelter in Slough to run through January to March. My apologies, January to March, and it helps give the homeless people a bit of somewhere to sleep in the coldest months of the year. So it's a great charity to get involved with, and we wish you all to just bung a few quid into that pot for us and see if we can get to our total, which is £1,000. We would like to get that up, and we'll keep telling you about it. And if I can figure out how to do it. This bloke just walked into the press box and he knocked it over. If I can figure out how to do it by Saturday, I'll try and put a thingy on the chat room doofer. What you call it? Chat room. I'll put a link. That's it. Link on the chat room. I don't know. I'll get there in the end. Will Rees says he knows how many wickets Courtney Walsh got. Brilliant. You got that bit right. Will, do you want to get the other two? That's become just before half time. Our round that Ali knocked out George Foreman in a Rumble in the Jungle. Year that Ayrton Senna won his first Grand Prix. Caps for Diego Maradona. Wickets for Courtney Walsh. It will give you a total. And the total doesn't mean anything. I don't know even why I gave that total. I was hoping it would be something really kind of like clever and interesting, but it wasn't. So the two sides are starting to come out for the start of the second half. So I'm just going to keep our eye out, see if there's any substitutions. I can tell you that Windsor are beating Homer Green in their league 2-0. And it's the Slough team that are out first so far. And here come the Hemel Hempstead side. So it's time to stand back up, get into position. So let's have a look and see what we've got going on. Just going to see if there are any half-time substitutions. And I'll put you out of your misery for the quiz. Oh, Will Rees has got it right. FC Video got no. It wasn't first win FC Video. It was his first world title. So it's first world title. So Will Rees has got 2 right. He just needs the other 2. I'm just checking to see if there are any substitutions for the 2 sides. I will quickly run through those quiz answers for you. And just keep an eye out too if there's any subs. I'm waiting for the referee. All right, so Ali knocked out George Foreman at in the Rumble in the Jungle in round 8. That gives you the number 8. Ayrton Senna's world title, first world title championship win was in 1988. That gives you 2 numbers. The third number is the number of caps Diego Maradona won for Argentina's full national side. That was 91. Courtney Walsh, as Will Rees clearly said, got 519 test wickets, and at the time he was only one of the 4 people to do that. And then if you add that all up, your total should hopefully be 2,606. So there you go. There are no substitutions to each side. So the teams are for Hemel Hempstead, it's Walker 1, 2 Doyley, 3 Howe, 4 Parks, who's captain, 5 Darren Ward, 6 Yakubu, 7 Cotter, 8 Ty Ward, 9 Corley, 10 is Yodi Oliid. Oh, come on. And then it's 10 is Oliide, and Kaluxi is 11. Slough have the ball here at the moment with Davis just been fouled. And for the Rebels, it's Turner in goal, Fraser 2, Jackman 3, Sam Togwell 4, Nisbet the captain 5, Lee Togwell 6, Dunn 7, 8 Davies, 9 Floods, 10 Stevens, 11 Saws. So there you go, that's the 2 starting 11s for you. Slough have a free kick just a few yards inside their own half. Played in, headed away by Yakubu, bounces here for Kalixi, just runs into a bit of danger, goes back towards his goalkeeper Walker, under pressure, clears well. Up here to Oliade, trying to flick the ball on. Ball's into the path for Corley. Corley holding the ball up well, chipping it out here to the left-hand side where Parks cuts inside, still running with the ball. Plays it outside, gives it away to Simon Dunn. Dunn trying to find... Oh, it just hits Stevens on the back of the field, but it falls back in towards Dunn. Dunn stretches and gets the ball, but it's cleared by Hemel Hempstead. Ball's here with Cotter down the line and hooked back away by Nisbet, trying to come in towards Josh Chapman. Chapman finding Davis. Davis turning and chipping the ball across to the right back position to find Sean Fraser. Fraser in towards Flood. Little flick to him. Back into Saws. Little 1-2. Oh, and Flood just couldn't keep the rebound in there. It just skipped off the cold surface here and went out of play for a throw to Hemel Hempstead, which Hal, the left back, will come across to take. And his throw headed away by Fraser. Comes in here towards Flood. Flood trying to find Stevens. Blocked there, and it comes out here towards Howe. Howe being chased by Saws, and then done with the challenge on Howe, but the ball breaks to Ward, Darren Ward, and he finds the right back Doyley. Doyley's little ball in, trying to find Corley. Corley trying to flick the ball on, but Jackman's there for Slough to clear up, and then clears down the line only as far as Doyley, who's ball back in, finds Jackman. He gets a second chance to clear, and this one will go all the way through to Walker in the Hemel Hempstead goal. And Walker just throws it out here to Howe, the left back. Plays it back inside to Yakubu, halfway inside the Hemel Hempstead half. And Flood tries to chase it down. Ball's here with Howe. Flicks it in first to Kolotsky. In towards Cowley. Cowley can turn and find Howe that makes a really good run from the left back position. Plays it back in. Oh, just a touch there. Clears it for Slough. Stevens gets to the ball first and finds Lee Togwell. Ball here for Simon Dunn to chase. He can't get there. It's played back here by Cotter in towards Doyley. Doyley finding Ty Ward inside the centre circle, being under a bit of pressure. And Darren Ward has to go back towards his goalkeeper under pressure from Chris Flood. And it's here with Walker, who can clear. Looking for Cotter. Headed away by Josh Chapman, finding Simon Dunn. Dunn does well to cut inside and be the man. Finds Lee Togwell, a bit of man on him. Finds Saws coming down the right hand side, plays the ball inside here towards Flood, trying to play it back, and Saws just didn't continue his run, and a bit of a mix up in the Hemel defence means it's hooked clear by Howe and out for a throw to Slough, level with the 18-yard box of Hemel Hempstead. And it's going to be Fraser who comes across to take the throw. Just waiting for a little bit of movement. Movement comes from Sam Togwell, of all people. Back in here towards Fraser. Fraser trying to sweep the ball in, but it's won back here by Sam Togwell. Just evades a challenge. Finds Scott Davis. Davis trying to chip the ball here towards Saws. Good ball out for Saws. Takes it on his chest. Being closed down here by Parks. Gets across him with his left foot. Headed away by Ward. Not the best of headers. Flicked on by Collar. Comes to Davis who shoots, but it's well wide of the goal. But at least it's an effort, and it's only taken less than 4 minutes to happen. Not on target, but we're not expecting much this evening. And Leo Godding wants to know the score. Tim's answering him. It's 0-0. It's a very boring 0-0. We would like someone to score. That would be nice. As Walker's long kick finds Corley. Good control by him, but Nisbet pushes him off the ball and cleared by Chapman. Only as far as Doyley. Doyley trying to play the ball in here, and Slough steal the ball here. It's with Davies. Davies just gets the ball caught underneath his foot. Sliding tackle. Ball by Alidi, and then Sean Fraser with a great challenge. The referee will pull it back for a foul though for Hemel Hempstead. And a great challenge by Sean Fraser. I think he's injured. He's on the floor here at the moment. I mean, Slough didn't realise that the referee's going to put it back. It was Calixi that went in with the challenge. And there's going to be I think the referee's going to give a yellow card. Fraser's back on his feet. And Sam Togwell will be the second Slough player to receive a yellow card for the original tackle that's given the foul away. So it's a free kick here to Hemel Hempstead, 35 plus yards away from goal. Parks is the player standing over this. Yakubu and Darren Ward have gone forwards for Hemel Hempstead. The referee just marking 10 yards out. Simon Dunn is a one-man wall. And we wait for this free kick from Parks to come in. Plays it into the box. Come through. It's a shot on goal by Kalixki, and it produces the first save of the game for Jack Turner. And finally, we've had a decent effort. Unmarked was Kalixi. Just tried to volley the ball into the side foot. A side foot volley, but Fraser saw it early and caught the ball. Turner. Ball played in here towards Flood. Flood's header on, finds Stevens. Stevens trying to hold the ball up here. Back out here towards Flood. Flood's got Saws in front of him. Turns and plays it inside towards Lee Togwell. Lee Togwell, little ball inside to Stevens. Tries to get a 1-2. It's cleared by Ward. Under pressure here from Simon Dunn. Here with Parks. Parks chipping the ball forwards to Oliadi. He's offside. And it's free kick here to the Rebels. Taken quickly by Slough by Jack Turner. He's gone for goal. It's gone straight into the arms of Walker. And a wasted free kick here for the Rebels. And I suppose we'd better call that a shot on goal, hadn't we, really? Because it was on target. There you go. We've got to fix these figures somehow. Ball's here with Oliade on the edge of the box. Trying to turn here. Holds the ball up into Kalixi, just being forced wide. Plays the ball out here towards Cotter. Cotter tries a little 1-2. Nisbet reads it well. And it's here with Simon Dunn to clear. Second half a little bit better than the first. Ball inside to Davis. Davis finding Josh Chapman. Chapman back out towards Fraser. In here towards Chapman. Finding Davis. Davis back in towards Dunn. Now playing a little corner ball football. Played inside towards Stevens. Hooked clear by Yakubu, who smashes that down the field. And Turner goes almost out to his corner flag to get the ball. And Turner just brings the ball back into the penalty area and picks it up and aims to go long. Just drops it outside the edge of his box. And Oliade comes to close it down, but Turner plays the ball down the field. One back here by Parks. Heavy touch by him allows Fraser to play it in towards Saws. Saws in a central position. Being forced wide. Finds Davies. Davies turns. Finds Jackman the left back on the pushing overlap, finding Flood on the left hand side. Flood trying to skip past the challenge of Doyley's. Has been lost by him, but now we'll try and win it back here on the far hand side. Cotter's there, and Cotter's actually found Ollier. Good ball in. Ollier trying to run through. Oh, it's Davis with the challenge. Good challenge by the midfielder. just under a bit of pressure, finds the ball to Fraser. Fraser works it here towards Lee Togwell. Togwell down the line to Stevens. Stevens trying to turn his man, just being forced off the ball, but Stevens does well to continue, even though he's being manhandled. Comes down this right hand side, cuts back in on his left foot, needs a bit of help. Comes from Davies. Davies just being forced wide here, plays on the far hand side where Flood's made a bit of space to try and get the ball in. Down the left hand side, tries to get a cross in. It's a great cross in. Togwell tries to stretch, but it's only as far as Parks, and Parks, the Hemel Hempstead captain, can clear from deep inside his own half. Long ball down. Sam Togwell's first to the ball, but hooks it up into the sky. Sean Fraser underneath it, gets a touch to it, only back here towards Parks. Parks little touch in towards Corley. Corley skips past a couple of challenges. Good play by the striker. Brings down the near hand side to Ollie Lloyd in a foot race here with Sam Togwell. So Togwell dives in. Great challenge by Sam Togwell. Stops it and goes out for a throw to Hemel Hempstead. And it's going to be just making sure it is a throw. It is a throw. Howe is going to come along to take this throw for Hemel Hempstead, the left back. And Parks trying to make a run into the box. Well spotted by Fraser, gets a touch to it. Here towards Flood. Flood's ball ricochets to him. A great challenge by Yakubu goes in on him, and the two get up and just shake hands. It's a throw to Slough. And throw quickly taken by Fraser here towards Jack Turner. Turner trying to spread the play out here towards Simon Dunn. Dunn trying to flick the ball on for Stevens to chase. Lloyd Doyley across there to go back towards his goalkeeper. Dunn tries to chase it down. Hooked clear by Walker. Nisbet gets there first. There's an offside. And it's an offside against Hemel Hempstead. And a free kick here to the Rebels. And no sign of any substitutions for either side at the moment. It's going to be Nisbet that takes the free kick in towards Davies. Davies spreads it back here towards Sam Togwell. Out here towards Fraser, just in the right back, just inside the opposition half, towards Swords. Hemel Hempstead working hard when they've not got the ball here. Ball here with Fraser. Down the line, just sells it short, and Howe wins it for Hemel Hempstead. Finds Kaluxi, finding Ty Ward. Ty Ward trying to play the ball out here towards Cotter on the far hand side, but Cotter can't keep it in. And it's gone out of play for a throw to Slough, which Chapman takes quickly, finding Nisbet. Nisbet's got plenty of time on the ball here in his own half. Plays it in here towards Flood. Flood trying to flick the ball on for Dunn to chase. Dunn gets a touch to it. Comes off Doyley last, and it's a throw to Slough. The referee will tell Slough to come back a few yards from where it is. And Chapman takes the throw quickly. Gets it back from Nisbet. Chapman just being forced to play it back in towards Nisbet. Finding Davis. Davis just got caught there, and the referee has blown for a foul. And it's a free kick here for Slough. And again, it's about a couple of feet inside at it's by the centre circle, about a couple of feet further from the centre circle towards the goal. Davis do take it, a good 40 yards away from goal here. It's a free kick. Sam Togwell being urged to go forwards here for Slough. Now we'll just wait a second. Ball played into the box, looking for Source. Comes off the head of Yakubu, and it's a throw for Slough right by the corner flag. And it's Fraser who's going across to... I don't know, I think they're going to leave it for Sam Togwell to put a long throw into the box here. So Sam Togwell's going to put some distance on this throw for the Rebels. The last 4 meetings between these sides have been 2 draws and 2 one-goal victories, so not a lot to separate at all. The ball's been cleared out here towards Corley. Corley plays it up, and Fraser gets a touch to it with his head. Lee Togwell then heads it on, finding Chris Flood, trying to find the ball in here, and then Flood goes down on the edge of the box, looking for a free kick, doesn't get it. And Doyley can clear for Hemel Hempstead, only as far as Fraser covering as the left back, headed away by Darren Ward into Nisbet. His header finds Stevens. Stevens trying to let the ball run, couldn't control it. Corley flicks it on well, looking for Ollie, but Fraser's there for Slough. Played forwards over the top, and that will run through to Walker in the Hemel Hempstead goal. 57.5 minutes gone so far. Still 0-0 between the two sides. Second half a little bit better than the first half. We've had at least 2 efforts on target, which is a miracle. As we wait for Walker, just dropping the ball outside his penalty area here. As he hammers the ball forwards, looking for Parks. Parks wins the header, but comes across here to Olioi, trying to play the ball forwards. It's just going to run through, though, to Jack Turner in the Slough goal, who gratefully comes and grabs that on the edge of his box and tries to get Slough on the attack with a long ball down the field. Yakubu wins the header. It'll come through to Davis. Davis just shears the ball out of play for a throw. Takes it quickly towards Fraser. Puts Fraser in a bit of trouble, but Fraser does well to come out of that. Just gives Scott Davis a look there. And Davis apologises. Ball over the top here for Stevens to chase. Gets a bit too close to the goalkeeper, Walker, who does well just to keep his body inside the penalty area there. And Walker has the ball in his hands and kicks it long into this very dark night sky. Ollie tries to win the header, comes through to Corley, hits Sam Togwell on the back. Corley plays the ball forwards. It's Kaloxi with the header. It'll come through here towards Parks. Parks little touch in towards Howe, the left back. He turns and finds Yakubu just 10 yards inside his own half, looking to play under pressure from Stevens. Has to go back to his centre-back teammate Ward. Ward just hammers the ball forwards here for Cotter to chase, but that's going to go all the way through to Turner in the Slough goal, and that'll be a goal kick to the Rebels. So 0-0 between these two sides here this evening. And I'll wait for Turner to take this goal kick. We haven't had an indication of how many people are here this evening or anything like that, as Turner takes this long kick down the field, headed away by Yakubu again. Comes to Davis. Davis trying to find Soars on this near hand side, just skips past the challenge and finds Fraser up against Parks. Has Davies here to help. Davis hits it in low and it's hooked clear by Yakubu, trying to find Corley. Liade wins the ball and finds Corley. Corley now tries to break. Superb challenge by Mark Nisbet. Great defending by the Slough captain. He can bring the ball out here for Slough. Played a little 1-2 into Simon Dunn. Dunn gets it back from Flood. Just in towards Davis. Davis turns into trouble but manages to skip a challenge and plays it out here towards Fraser. Fraser just keeps the ball in front of our commentary position. Fraser looking up to see what's going. He's got no one there. Finds Flood. Flood just goes surrounded by a couple of players. Davis has to stretch to get there first. Then gets it on his right foot. Finding Stevens. It's a great ball in. It really was, but Stevens just couldn't get to it before the goalkeeper. And then it's clearance by Walker's come from Fraser in towards Jackman. So now with a bit of spell of pressure here in towards Simon Dunn. Dunn trying to find Flood. Just over the head of Flood, and that skips off the surface and goes out for a goal kick. Let's just see if we can find you some scores as we wait for Walker to come across to take this goal kick for you. Let's have a look and see. Okay, in the National League South, we have got some more goals coming in. It's Billericay 1, East Thurrock 2. Chippenham have taken the lead at Oxford City, and Woking have extended their lead to 2-0. Torquay have equalised as well. So those are the scores at the moment. Ball's here with Corley trying to find Parks. Parks with the ball over the top for Ollie to chase. Being held up here by Sam Togwell. Ollie trying to find a bit of space. Plays it here towards Parks. Parks tries to chip the ball to the back post. It's a good ball in. It's just missed by everyone. Connor will keep it in on the far hand side. And under pressure, plays it back here towards Doyley, the right back. Doyley chipping the ball in towards Ty Ward, trying to hold it on the edge of the box. It creates a space. The ball's just blocked well, though, by Slough's defence. And it comes here towards Stevens. Stevens, he's just tried to send Flood on the run, but Flood had stood still, expecting a short pass. And the two strikers not linking up very well here this evening. And this game is a bit scrappy here. Ball comes in here towards Flood. Flood trying to find... Again, the ball's just played too far in front. These two don't have an understanding between them here at the moment. Ball played forwards for Togwell to chase. It goes back towards Turner in his goal, and looked like it was going in an empty net there, but Turner comes back and gets hold of the ball. Brings it a couple of yards outside of his box. Spreads it across to the centre-back Nisbet. Nisbet brings the ball forwards 10-15 yards. Gets to the halfway line. Again, there's no movement in front of him, and he has to turn back and find Josh Jackman, the right back. Jackman under pressure from Cotter, goes all the way back to the goalkeeper Turner. And kind of sums up Slough's evening here at the moment. Long kick here by Turner, trying to find Flood. Flood does really well to get their head on, but headed away by Yakuba, comes back out towards Flood. Flood just increases his fit, just trying to challenge, gets past the challenge. Slough looking for a free kick. Lee Togwell wins it back in towards Stevens, chests it on the edge of the box. And this time the referee has given a free kick to Slough. It's right on the edge of the penalty area. I think that Slough management team are just looking to see why it wasn't. I think they're trying to tell him to go across to the linesman. He's given it literally right on the edge, on the 18-yard line. Slough are telling the referee to go to his linesman, but the referee is saying it's a free kick to Slough. It's a dead central position, and it is dead on the 18-yard box line. It's literally another 6 inches, and that would have been a penalty. And the referee just trying to organise. Slough again asking them to go and have a look to the linesman. And Sam Togwell has pointed out to the referee that the linesman is most probably in a better place to give you an answer. And the referee's walking backwards here slowly to the linesman on this near hand side. So it's either Mr. Donaldson or Mr. Fell. I can't see because they're standing right by the dugout bit where you can't see. But we'll find out in a minute when he points at either the penalty spot or just says to play it from where it is. But it was a foul on Matt Stevens, who chested the ball down. And Slough just trying to... Everyone just waiting for the referee to decide whether it's a penalty or a free kick. He's given a free kick, so it's a free kick on the edge of the box. And Hemel have currently got a 6-man wall here. And it's... I mean, I don't know what he's got the wall almost on the 6-yard line, which means it's not 10 yards because that's 16 and it's an 18-yard box. There's several players standing over. It looks like Matt Stevens is the favourite. It looks like it's going to be a shot. It's actually a 9-man wall. Stevens hits it straight at the wall. Comes back out here towards Davis. He just bounces it around. Skims through and it goes through to Walker in the goal. And... Slough have 2 efforts there on shot, on target, but not really troubling the goalkeeper. But ball's here with Stevens. Stevens finding a bit of space down his right hand side, trying to go past Howe. Gets past him well, gets into the box, then goes down, and that's a dive. And it's given a free kick to Slough outside the penalty area on the side. It's a foul by Joe Howe. Stevens causing all sorts of problems here for Hemel Hempstead at this moment. It's a free kick to Slough. It's down the edge of this, it's a few yards away from the 18-yard line, to be honest. I can't see, but it looks as though Howe's going to get a talking to by the referee. I'm just trying to see if he's going to book him. I think he's just calling with the referee. I was just telling him that's how many fouls he's committed, and it's his 4th or 5th, and he's not booked him. But Slough have a free kick. It's around about 10 yards away from goal, but it's a couple of yards away from the sideline of the 18-yard box. Davis is standing over it. There's a 2-man wall here for Hemel Hempstead. And Slough the free kick. It's taken by Davis. It's a good free kick. It's headed away though by Coloxy for Slough's a corner to Slough. Only their 2nd corner of the game, and it comes in the 67th minute. God blimey, you've been playing that long. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Corner here to Slough. Davis is the player that goes across to take this one for Slough. And it's going to be played into the near post. Headed away again, well, by Cowley. Comes back out towards Davis, who puts it in left-footed. Headed by Slough. It's come across the goal, and it comes back out here towards Fraser. Fraser plays it back into the box. Comes back out. The referee has stopped play because there's a Slough player that's gone down injured in the penalty area, and treatment's being called very quickly here for the player down. It's Matt Stevens who's in the penalty box injured. who'd gone up with the header there and beat the goalkeeper to the header, but only went across the goal. And it'd be interesting to see what the referee gives as a foul. Sean Tucker's hoping. Sean Tucker was a Hemel Hempstead fan. At this rate, mate, I tell you what, we could be playing here on till Saturday, and no one's going to score. Stevens is fine, and I think the referee is informing Hemel Hempstead to give the ball back to Slough's goalkeeper Turner. As Slough were in possession of the ball, and Hemel Hempstead do that. And the ball played forwards here by Slough. Doyley comes across with the header away, only as far as Ward. Ward loses it out to Lee Togwell. Comes out here towards Scott Davis. Davis now finding Josh Jackman down the left-hand side. Jackman trying to make a run. Slough is held up by Cotter. Back here towards Nisbet. Nisbet chipping the ball forwards here for the run of Flood. Doyley comes across and takes it, hooks it down the line, but it's gone out of play for a throw to the Rebels. Always nice to have some opposition fans on the chat room there. Nice to know that you're listening in, but still not a lot to talk about really. It's going to be a throw on the far hand side for Slough, 25 yards away from goal, taken quickly by Jackman, gets the ball back, dink down the line here for Saws. Saws in towards Flood. Flood trying to hold it out for Saws to cross into the box. Stevens rises, Lee Togwell rises, and he gets ahead to it, but just can't keep it down, and it goes way over the top of the bar. But bodies in the box there for Slough, and a good delivery from Saws. The goal kick's taken short here towards Joe Howe. Howe plays it in, looking for Corley. Headed away though by Nisbet, finding Saws. Saws first to the ball, in now towards Dunn. Dunn just gets bundled off the ball by Cotton. No foul by the referee. It's here with Doyley. Doyley trying to find Ollie down the lower, but he needs a motorbike to catch that. And it's here with Jack Turner, who keeps the ball in from going out. And brings the ball back into his penalty box with his feet, then picks it up. And then tries to launch a long kick down the field here, aimed towards Chris Flood. Howe wins the header. Lee Togwell's first to it for Slough, finding Sean Fraser. Fraser's ball is intercepted by Howe. Good play by him, intercepts it, finds Ollie. Oh, and then Nisbet reads it as well. And then Davis chipping it on here, looking for Flood. Yakubu just hammers the ball away. Sean Fraser heads it for Slough, in towards Swords. It's a bit scrappy again this game. Back little 1-2 between Swords and Togwell. Ball played in towards Simon Dunn, in towards Stevens. Hooked clear. Ollie tried to hold the ball up, but Nisbet's there for Slough. Into Scott Davis, finding Josh Jackman down this left-hand side. Jackman bursting down. Oh, great run by Jackman. Belden all the way down. Tries to get across in. It's blocked by Doyley. It'll come out here as far as Simon Dunn. Dunn being forced back here in towards Davis. Davis drills the ball across the field here towards Lee Togwell, finds Sean Fraser, sorry. And Togwell's ball is short, sails in short, and Parks can bring the ball out here for Hemel Hempstead. Parks running with it. Lee Togwell tries to win the ball back, but Parks skips the challenge and keeps hold of the ball. Inside the centre circle, he's literally run so far, he's actually gone almost backwards. Ball play forwards here towards Ward. And they go back towards the goalkeeper Walker. Walker chipping the ball forwards. Nisbet wins the header for Slough. It'll come here towards Saws. Bit of time and composure on the ball needed. Played it in towards Flood. Saws just skips past the challenge of his man. Finds Dunn. Dunn cuts inside. Still running with the ball. Finds Flood. Back out towards Simon Dunn. Trying to find Flood. Flood makes a run down to the byline. Good play. Crosses in. It comes off Yakubu for a corner to the Rebels. And some better play there by Slough. And it's a corner here to Slough at the moment. And it's Davies who's gone across to take this corner for Slough. And Saws has just gone in on the stand on the goal line where the goalkeeper is. The cross comes deep to the far post. Headed back across goal, and it's just wide, and the header came from Mark Nisbet. But Slough with the better of the second half here at the moment, although we've only had 12 shots in the entire game, 3 from Hemel Hempstead, 9 from Slough, and we've only really seen 2 saves of any note of any kind, to be honest. So still not a great game here at Vauxhall Road. 0-0 still to score. We're into the 73rd minute here. Long ball played down. Sam Tugwell heads the ball on. It comes out here to Howe under pressure from Swords. Finds Parks. Parks trying to orchestrate again. Creates a lovely ball out there towards Collar. Collar takes it first time, but only gives it away to Nisbet. Nisbet finding Lee Togwell. And now under pressure here from the two centre midfielders in Calixi and Ward, trying to work hard. Ball's here with Fraser. Just turns away from trouble. Little ball inside towards Lee Togwell. Togwell finds Davis. Davis has just given the ball away. Here it's a throw to Hemel Hempstead. Parks, the captain, takes it in towards Collox. He gives the ball away and here towards Flood, finding Lee Togwell. Togwell trying to play the ball in. Finds Dunn. Just stood up in front of me and I can't see. Brilliant. Thanks, mate. Oh, Jesus. Ball's back with the goalkeeper. It wasn't Dunn, just tried to get on the end of it, but couldn't get to it. Some people. And it's here with Walker, the Hemel goalkeeper, just dropping the ball outside of his box. Plays it down. Jackman wins the ball for the Rebels. Plays it down and comes down the left-hand side again. Running with the ball. Then gets fouled, but the referee says play on. Ball's here with Stevens. In towards Davies. There's an injury to a Hemel Hempstead player. So now we're playing on with Jackman coming down the left-hand side. Cuts inside. Still has the ball. Takes a shot. It's crosses. It's blocked. Comes back out here towards Davies. Davis has the ball here towards Sean Fraser. Fraser finding Saws. Saws down this right-hand side, trying to create space. Gets a cross in. It comes off Howe for a corner. And corner number 4 for the Rebels. Still no sign of a substitution for either side this afternoon. And it was Cotter, the player who was injured. He's back on his feet. So corner here for Davies to take. Slough signalling how they want him to put the corner in. So there's obviously a routine of some kind planned here. And the Slough fans behind the goal making a lot of noise here. Ball played in towards Nisbet. It's drilled it to him. It comes off his head. Lee Togwell will keep the ball in for Slough. And it goes all the way back here towards Jackman. Jackman under pressure from Olioid. Has to go back to Turner in the Slough goal. And Turner just plays the ball forward here looking for Chris Flood. Headed away by Doyley. Comes off the head of Doyley last. It'll be a throw to Slough. 0-0 the score. And someone will have won British Bake Off by now. Jackman takes this throw. Flicks on by Flood in towards Stevens. Stevens just gets the ball. It comes out here towards Davis. Davis plays it a little bit behind Fraser. And Fraser plays it back here towards Sam Togwell. Under pressure from Olioid. Togwell goes deep on the far hand side for Flood. Flood heads the ball back in, trying to find Stevens. Stevens trying to work his way in. The ball comes across. It's sort of cleared by Howe. Only as far as Davies. Davies little ball inside towards Dunn. It just hits Dunn. He couldn't really do much with it. Ball's with Cowley. Finds Olioid. Tries to turn and play it in back in towards Cowley. He's continued his run. Olioid's gone down after being caught, but Cowley still has the ball. Spreads it out here on the far hand side towards Doyley. Doyley inside here towards Cotter. Cotter trying to find Ty Ward. Ty Ward trying to spread it out here to Howe. That's a good ball for him. Howe, the left back, can come down this left hand side. Gets to the edge of the box. Trying to turn and get the ball in. Gets across into the box. It's bouncing around. Olioid trying to get there. Fraser hooks it away for Slough. Ball comes back out here towards Howe. Finds Parks. Parks 10 yards inside his own half. Being pushed back here by Davis. Just dinks a lovely little ball in. Cowley tries to play it in. Olioid's there to the ball. Ball through to Calixti. He plays it down for Howe, but it's offside there, and it's a free kick to the Rebels. And I think you're going to see the first substitution of the game, and it's going to be for Hemel Hempstead Town. Coming off is number 10, Carl Olioid. Coming on is number 12, that's Matteo Mandy. And that substitution will be on 77 minutes. So it's Carl Olioid off and Matteo Mandy on. And it's going to be a free kick for the Rebels with Jack Turner to take. And it's Turner to take the free kick just on the edge of his 18-yard box. Still goalless here between the two sides. And it's Turner with this free kick. Play down the line looking for Flood. Flood flicks it on here trying to find Soares. Soares can't keep the ball in. It's gone out of play for a goal kick. And let's see if we can find you some scores from the National League South. In the Carabao Cup, both home sides are winning. It's AFC Bournemouth 2, Norwich 1, Burton Albion 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Long kick here, finds Cowley. Cowley just turns into trouble. It's one back here with Scott Davis. Mandy tries to win the ball back here, and it plays in towards Mandy. Mandy back out on the far hand side towards Doyley. Doyley a few yards inside the Slough half. Plays it back here towards Connor. Back out towards Doyley. Slough putting Hemel Hempstead under pressure when they've got the ball. Ball here towards Connor. Connor releasing Mandy, but he's offside. And it's a free kick to the Rebels. In the National League South Bank, it's Billericay 3, East Thurrock 2, Concord 3, Chelmsford 2. It's 2-2 between Eastbourne Borough and Hampton Richmond. Oxford City have equalised. It's 1-1 between them and Chippenham. St Albans 2, Welling 0, Truro 1, Bath 1, Western Supermare 1, Torquay 1, and Woking 3, Hungerford 0. Those are your scores from the other games in the National League South. So that means ours is the only game without a goal. Ball spin played forwards here. Togwell tries to win it. One back by Calixi. Nisbet with the header on, trying to find Stevens. Ward comes across. The ball's been flicked on here for Mandy to chase, but Sam Togwell's there. Plays it back towards Turner. Turner with the long kick down the field. Well, Ward leaves it and it bounces through to Walker in the Hemel goal. And Walker just drops the ball on the edge of his 18-yard line. And plays a kick down. Corley does well to win the header. Sam Togwell's there for Slough to hook the ball clear. Comes here towards Soares. Heavy touch by him means that Parks can steal the ball off him. And Parks being chased by Lee Togwell. Oh, giving the ball away here to Dunn. Dunn with the ball forwards for Stevens to chase. Stevens first time in the box. Chase! Yes! A goal for the Rebels! The first ball of any real quality comes from Simon Dunn. And he feeds in Matty Stevens. Stevens just outpaces Darren Ward, and Slough have a goal that comes on the 80th minute of the game, and as the goalkeeper came out, Stevens just slid it into the far corner of the net. It's Slough Town with the goal. Hemel Hempstead 0, Slough Town 1. Matty Stevens with his 8th goal in 12 games gives Slough the lead. Just 10 minutes to hold on here for a second. Just as I said, it was going to be goalless. There you go. I think they've announced the attendance, but I didn't hear it. Sorry. It's got a very funny tannoy, it doesn't really. And John Underwood just coming out here in front of us, telling his team to focus and concentrate here for these final 10 minutes here. As Stevens the last to get back into his half here. Hemel Hempstead with the free kicks. Now fans singing the Matty Stevens song. I don't know what it is, but I can't really hear it. Ball's been played out here towards Doyley. Doyley plays it forward here looking for Corley. Corley beaten to the ball by Sam Togwell. Comes out to Scott Davis. Davis just spreads and turns. Ball over the top again for Stevens to chase on the far hand side. Stevens is first to it. Going to hold the ball up by the corner flag. Needs a little bit of help. Help comes from Scott Davis. Davis plays it back inside here towards Lee Togwell. Togwell inside towards Simon Dunn. Dunn with a ball chanced in towards Flood. Yakubu reads the ball well. Comes out here towards Mandy up against Jackman. Jackman, great challenge by him. Plays it off Mandy. That's really good defending by Josh Jackman. And he's down. He's just stretched there as I think he's got a little bit of cramp there. But it was a great tackle. He slid in and won the ball. And then played it off Mandy for a throw to Slough. And now the Slough fans are in good voice on their far hand side. The Slough lead here 1-0. Didn't think the goal was ever going to happen, but first time that Stevens got a real ball of any quality in behind the defence, low for him to chase, and he put it away. And it's a throw on the far hand side here to Hemel Hempstead. I've got the hiccups now. So Doyley takes the throw, headed away by Simon Dunn. Ball comes back in here to Ty Ward. It's been spread out here towards Parks. Parks will leave it. I know he's going to bring the ball forward, just coming across the halfway line. He's got Soares in front of him. Finds Howe, the left back. Back inside here towards Parks. Parks plays it inside here towards Ty Ward. Finding Yakubu. Yakubu being chased down by Scott Davis. Comes off The ball comes in, little 1-2 here, but it's hooked clear in the end by Sam Togwell, and Stevens will chase it. Ward with the header across to his centre-back partner, Yakubu. Yakubu saying there's no one making a run for him. It comes through to Parks, who's the player manager here at the moment after Brennan left Hemel Hempstead for Billericay Town. And Slough fans doing bakes and unders Rebel Army behind the goal here, as Walker plays the ball forwards. Corley tries to win the header. It's been missed by all of them. Comes out here to Fraser. Fraser takes the touch and then clears down the line again, looking for Stevens. Ball headed away. Comes out here towards Swords. Little cushion header finds Flood. Flood tries to skip past the challenge of Ward. Then skips inside past Howe. Plays it inside here towards Davies. Davies just plays it across here to the left back Jackman. Jackman just bringing the ball forwards here for Slough. In towards Simon Dunn. Dunn playing on that left hand side. Just pops it inside here, trying to get a little 1-2, but it's a good tackle there by Kalicki. Plays it inside here to Ty Ward. Ward spreads it to Howe, still inside their own half, Hemel Hempstead Town, but they bring the ball forwards here with Joe Howe, just still inside his own half, finds Ward. Ward's got sores on his back here and forces Hemel Hempstead to go to Yakubu. Yakubu finding Parks, back in towards Yakubu. Slough happy to let the ball be in the Hemel Hempstead half. Sores chases Ward down, comes in towards Kalicki, who's had to come back deep. And the ball's here again with Yakubu. Goes across here towards Parks. Parks orchestrating everything for Hemel Hempstead here. Ball played out here towards Doyley. Doyley just inside here again towards Parks. Parks chipping the ball across the field here, finding Howe, who's further forwards than Kalicki. Howe here up against Fraser. Fraser has to have his work cut out. The ball comes in. Sam Togwell just chests the ball down, keeps the ball in play, and then hammers it clear. And then it's headed away by Ishmael. Comes back out here to Yakubu to Kalicki. Kalicki crosses at the far hand side. Mendy's there. It's an equaliser for Hemel Hempstead Town. Poor play by Slough. It's a wicked ball in by Kalicki, and it's Mandy, the substitute, who gets his head on the ball. He heads it down low, and then Turner can do nothing but push the ball into the top of the net. Slough going to make a substitution. And coming on is Warren Harris for Louis Sores. So Sores is off. Warren Harris is on. The goal coming in 85 minutes. Mandy's only been on the pitch 7 minutes before he scored. It's 1-1 here at Vauxhall Road. Sit down. Jeez. And Slough have it all to do again now. They had the lead and they didn't concentrate. Poor defended goal. Ball played forwards here, headed away by Yakubu. Flicked on here by Parks, finding Corley. Corley trying to turn and play. Mandy trying to get there. Hooked clay by Fraser. Comes through to Stevens. Stevens header tries to find Flood. Flood can't get there. Yakubu's there first, and he finds Doyley. Doyley spreads it out on the far hand side. Here towards Codder. Codder can't keep it in. And it's a throw here to Slough on the far hand side. And the ball comes off Slough player on the far hand side. It's a throw to Hemel Hempstead. And the ball being played in here towards Mandy. Takes it on his chest, finding Corley. Held in for Mandy. Mandy on the edge of the line. Takes a shot. Turner can only fumble the ball. It's headed back to him though. Really well by Mark Nisbet. And then Turner can hook the ball clear here for Slough. Trying to find Stevens, but not enough men forwards for the Rebels. Lee Togwell tries to win it. Bung back here by Warren Harris. Harris has been forced off the ball. Flood gets there first. The referee pulls it back for a foul. And it's a free kick here to Slough. 30 yards away from goal. That's a yellow card there for Howe. That's for persistent fouling. That's his. He was told earlier just by the referee that another foul would put him in the book, and the referee has done exactly what he says. This place is absolutely rocking here. The Slough fans still singing Bakes and Under's Rebel Army, but now the Hemel Hempstead fans are making the noise. It's Scott Davis with this free kick. Needs some quality on it. Ball bouncing around in the box. It's been hooked clear by Yakubu. Parks will keep the ball in here for Hemel Hempstead. Slough trying to surround by numbers. Hooked clear by Howe. Mandy, that's a terrible dive, but ball comes through to Kalicki, who plays the ball on the far hand side. Comes here towards Corley. And Hemel Hempstead have got numbers in here if he can find it. Oh, the ball was cut out really well by Lee Togwell, and then Slough have the ball back here with Lee Togwell. Plays it out on the far hand side to Stevens. Stevens inside here to Josh Jackman, who's coming forward from that left back position. Inside to Stevens. Stevens trying to cross the ball for Flood. Ball cut out by Parks. And Parks hooks the ball clear here for Hemel Hempstead. It's got out of play for a throw to Slough on the halfway line. And it's thrown in here towards Mark Nisbet. Nisbet plays it in hard to Davies, just inside the centre circle. Finds Flood. Flood, we're trying to play the ball in here towards Warren Harris. First real touch for him. Down this near hand side, gets his cross in. Yakubu stretches to clear. The clearance by Howe isn't the best, and Warren Harris has won the ball back. Here towards Simon Dunn. I can't see. And the ball's gone straight out of play for a goal kick. These two guys are just... There's a big thing that says no yellow things, and two guys are standing in it. It means the two guys in front of me have got to stand up to move these things in. We think there's 4 minutes of time been indicated. And it's a goal kick here. That there's an injury here to Yakubu, so there's a bit of a break in play. As Yakubu's down on the pitch here at the moment. 3 or 4? 4. We're just getting a signal from the linesman whether it's 3 or 4. So we're going to see that there'll be 4 minutes of added time, I think, if we can get the board right. There's an injury here at the moment to Yakubu. So there's a bit of a break in play here at the moment. And it's... we're still waiting for Yakubu's getting some treatment inside the penalty area here at the moment. He's going to put 5 on now. I think the referee has just changed his mind because of the injury to Yakubu. But there is 5 minutes of injury time to be played. 5 minutes. And Yakubu's still getting some treatment here at the moment. And it's the atmosphere here is really good though here at Vauxhall Road. It's a proper old-fashioned stadium here, and it's Yakubu's come off the pitch to the side, so it's going to be he's going to come off. So the game will restart with this goal kick here for Hemel Hempstead. And the first of 5 minutes of added time here at the moment. And Walker with this kick aimed towards Mandy. Mandy wins the header. It's been a nuisance since he's come on the pitch. Ball comes here though to Fraser. Down the line looking for Stevens. Stevens little touch only intercepted by Ward. In towards Parks. Parks takes his time, but the ball's found Mandy. Massimo Mandy trying to use his pace here. He's all arms and legs, and then Slough win it through Scott Davies. And it's ball played in towards Flood. Flood led the ball in towards Stevens. Stevens holds the ball up, looking for the run of Warren Harris. Harris here in a foot race with Howe. Howe trying to shield the ball in. And it's gone out of play for a corner to Slough. And Davies is the player that goes across to take this corner for the Rebels. And the Slough fans making a lot of noise behind the goal here at the moment. This corner to come in from Scott Davies. Slough trying to eke this win out here. The ball will be played into the far post. Headed, it's Stevens who gets his head to, but can't keep the header anywhere near the goal. It's gone out of play for a goal kick. And the lead only lasted 5 minutes for the Rebels. That lead given to by Matt Stevens, but Matteo Mandy with the equaliser for Hemel Hempstead. 1-1 here as we're into 2 minutes of added time. The ball played forwards. Nisbet with the header away. Lee Tugwell gets her first. Comes back in here towards Nisbet who finds Jackman. Jackman with the clearance down the line. Comes off the head of Darren Ward into Calixi. His pass set up the goals, and he does well to keep the ball on the far hand side. Evades a couple of challenges. Still has the ball. Plays it in here towards Corley, looking for Mandy, but Turner's there first for Slough. And then the ball over the top here for Flood. Flood is offside. He did look a mile offside, to be honest, when the ball came in for him. So it's a free kick here to the hosts. And it's going to be Walker, the goalkeeper, to take this free kick. And it's going to be Walker to take this free kick sometime this evening. And plays the ball in. Mandy does well to flick the header on. So now have to clear it through Jackman. It's gone out of play for a throw on the far hand side. Mandy's causing all sorts of problems here for the Slough defence. He's a very awkward, gangly looking guy, but he's causing so many problems for Slough. They really don't know how to handle his pace or his height here. And it's going to be a throw to come in on the far hand side by Doyley. Around about 10 yards away from the corner flag of Slough. So Slough with some defending to do here late into this game. The ball comes in. It's been flicked across the goal. Hooked away by Slough. Comes to the edge of the box where it's cleared by Simon Dunn. It'll only come out to Darren Ward on the halfway line. He lets the ball run out of play. And it's going to be Doyley that comes across to take the throw. It looks like Hemel Hempstead maybe settled for a draw here. They're managerless at the moment. They've lost their last two in the league and in the FA Cup replay. Headed away by Jackman. Comes out here towards Cotter. Cotter leaves it for Doyley. Doyley in towards Corley. He's been a bit quiet. Lovely little flick ball here for Cotter to chase. But it's played back by Simon Dunn to Turner. Turner's ball play forward, headed away by Turner, then flicked on by Kalixki. Togwell with the header forwards, turns to Flood. Flood finds Dunn on the left hand side. Dunn hits it straight at Doyley, goes out of play for a throw. Got about 15 seconds of time, but I think the referee might just add a few more on for that little Yakubu injury. Ball's here with Lee Togwell, trying to cross the ball here for Warren Harris. Well won though by Howe, and then flicked on by Jordan Parks. One back by Fraser. Good defensive header. His header finds Davies, but it won't make no difference because that is that here at the Vauxhall Road, and it's finished. Hemel Hempstead Town 1, Slough Town 1, and Slough will be bitterly disappointed to give away a goal like that. The cross was really good, but it was a free header for Mandy at the far post, and he headed it down, and Slough's lead lasted 5 minutes. A goal from Matty Stevens, his 8th in his 12th appearance for Slough, gave them the lead on 80 minutes, but the equaliser by Mandy just 8 minutes after coming on as a sub means it's finished here at Vauxhall Road. It's Hemel Hempstead 1, Slough Town 1. And we'll see if we can find you the scores from the other games. But Slough would have hoped to have picked up more points from the two games over the weekend of St Albans and here. But they've only come away with the 1 point here. And they will be slightly disappointed with that. They go over to the Slough fans who are still chanting away on that far hand side. Just going to see if we can update you with the scores in the FA Trophy. It's Bognor Regis 2, Bracknell Town 2. Let's see if we can find you the National League South. It's finished Billericay 3, East Thurrock 2, Concord Rangers 3, Chelmsford 0, Eastbourne 2, Hampton and Richmond 2, Oxford City 1, Chippenham 1, St Albans 2, Welling 0, Truro 1, Bath 1, Weston-super-Mare 2, Torquay 2, and Woking 3, Hungerford Town 0. That will mean that the top of the table looks like this. Billericay are top now. Welling will go to second, Woking third, Bath 4, St Albans 5th, Wealdstone 6th, Concord Rangers 7th, 8th is Torquay, 9th is Chippenham, 10th will be Slough, 11th Hampton and Richmond. So Slough will just go to 10th position in the league after today's game. But we're all done here today at Vauxhall Road. Thank you all for listening in this evening. Not been the best of games at all, and it's it's not been the most entertaining games. The second half was much better. Thank you all for listening in. Paul Hazel, Neil Humphrey, Colin Davis, Warren Carter, Richard Weisler, Gerald Taylor, Colin Dave, all of you, thank you very much for your comments, and everyone else who's been on there as well. We'll be back on Saturday, where Slough are at home to Concord Rangers. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week. Some of you will be revelling in whoever's won Great British Bake Off. Some of you will be not, and some of you will just be out trick-or-treating tomorrow. So have a great Halloween. We'll be back on Saturday with the game against Concord Rangers. So until then, we'll see you at 10 to 3 on Saturday.